The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine, is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is heating up. Trump is talking about banning men from women's sports, and different states are complying. But when it came down to Maine, things started heating up. The governor of Maine is like, I'm going to see you in court. Because she wants men to play in women's sports. Interesting how it's a woman too, huh? Boy, the brainwashing will run deep. Let's watch the full video in full context.
2 weeks ago, I signed an executive order banning men from playing in women's sports. Many Democrats are fighting me on that. I hope you continue because you'll never win another race. The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine, is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding. Every state, good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
Oh my goodness, guys, it's getting real. It's not a game. It's not a game. Now, a lot of people may look at that and be like, well, why is Trump being like this? He don't want men and women's sports. You shouldn't either. And if you do, you're sick. Why in the world would a man be in a woman's sport? You see that one man who was in UFC beating up women? You okay with that too? Sick individuals, man. I can't believe we're in a space and a time where that would even be okay. I can't believe we're in a space and a time where we have to tell people that there's only two genders. Something's wrong with your mind. It's not fully there. It's not operating correctly. It's time to get the United States of America back to being united and in reality, set in reality. Piers Morgan had a trans activist, also trans woman named Blossom on his show with Riley Gaines, by the way. Riley Gaines, the individual who was swimming against Leah Thomas, the transgender male, who ended up getting first place, but couldn't even get in the 400th place in the men's sport of swimming. So Riley Gaines started coming out against this stuff, and people completely attacked her. But she's on Piers Morgan with transgender woman Blossom, and check out what they were saying about the whole Trump situation.
Why is Trump focused so much on trans people?
Because he wants to preserve the integrity. Because
guess what?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, Blossom. Because he's up at. I'll tell you why, Blossom.
I'm a woman.
Hang on, Riley. Hang on, Blossom. Here's why. Because he's up against complete lunatics like you who think it would be right to have a gender-neutral Olympics. A gender-neutral Olympics is the most insane thing I've ever heard from any trans activist in history. Lunacy.
Exactly why Donald Trump
Well, you haven't found that until you met me. I'm not your average trans woman, in case you didn't notice that. I'm not your average trans woman.
Riley.
People like Blossom are exactly why Donald Trump won on November 5th. I believe,
Oh, girl, please. Donald Trump rigged the election, which is why he's sitting in office now.
Can we mute?
And he's sitting up
This
there
is the most
Mute Blossom, please, because she can't stop talking. Riley, you respond.
People turned out, I believe, in masses to the polls on November 5th to embrace Donald Trump, to embrace the America First agenda, to embrace his cabinet picks. But more so, I believe people turned out to the polls to reject absurdity. And that is exactly what the past 30 minutes have been on this program, Pierce, is totally, entirely, and thoroughly absurd from top to bottom. Saying there should be a gender-neutral Olympics?
I know.
Are you serious? serious?
Madness.
Do you also believe, Blossom, that we should combine the Paralympics and the Olympics? I would love to hear an answer to that.
Okay, I'll ask her. Bring back Blossom. Blossom, should we combine the Paralympics with the regular Olympics? Have them all compete with each other?
I mean, why not? And to go back to
Right,
Riley's
yeah,
point to
why
that
not?
last
Yeah,
point.
okay. You are completely insane.
Oh my
Go back to that
gosh.
last point.
Yeah,
No,
so
because
no
she actually
Paralympian will win a
said something
medal.
that I wanted to respond to.
So no
But the
Paralympian
thing
will win a
is,
medal. So your
The
diversity,
thing
equity, and
is,
inclusion
people
turns
went
out
to
to
the
be
polls
unequal
because
and
they
doesn't
wanted a
include
better
any
economy.
Paralympian
People
or any
went to-
woman.
So this trans woman or this dude with a wig on, let's keep it 100, is willing to say anything just to prove a point that doesn't exist. So you're okay with paraplegic individuals being in the same Olympics as just the regular Olympics. That, you know how unfair that would be? Mind blowing. Can you even grasp how unfair that would be? But yeah, you have this person saying that, yeah, that'd be cool too. Why not? They've gone away from reality. This individual in particular, I've seen him on Piers Morgan's show. I've seen him on Jubilee. I've seen him on Jubilee a couple of different times. They've gone out of reality. They're no longer in reality.
I'll tell you why they separate the sexes, just as Riley has. It's because men have a physical advantage over women, which would mean that women would not win more than a handful of medals in the entire Olympics. Would you be happy if it was a gender-neutral Olympics?
Why are we?
Hang on.
Why
Answer
are we
my
saying
question.
this about women, though?
Answer
Women
my question.
are just as strong as men.
I'm asking
sorry.
you,
I'm sorry. Women are just as strong as men.
So
Women
just to
are
be
just
clear,
as powerful
okay,
as men.
okay.
And I don't believe that.
Guys, come on, man. Listen, there's things that women are stronger in. There's things that men are stronger in. We are biologically designed differently, though, to be strong in different aspects of life, to come together and unify and be the strongest together. Stop the nonsense. Stop it.
Okay, Blossom.
That's just your opinion.
So,
That's
Blossom.
not always fact.
Blossom, if
Men were built differently to do different things. That's why you got men out here that are bricklayers or oil riggers. You get what I'm saying? You got men out here who are really doing things that will put a strain on a woman's back, something that a woman just shouldn't be doing. And there's different things that women do that men shouldn't do. It's okay. It's okay to have things that you do that I don't do and that he does that you don't do. It's okay. It's fine. It's when these people like this, a man trying to be a woman, saying that, well, women can do it just because you can do everything a man can do, it's because you're a man.
the world #1 tennis player...
I don't buy it.
Okay, you know that Serena Williams admits that she would be beaten by the top 1,000 men in the world at tennis, right? You know that, do you?
She
No, I did
has
not.
been.
You did not know that. So
The 203rd
Okay, where's
ranked
the,
player.
you
can
don't
show me
know
the
that.
receipts?
You don't know why men and women get
Can y'all
separated
show me the
Olympics?
I have
receipts?
the
I would like
receipts
to
right
read
here.
those receipts.
Both Serena and Venus Williams lost
Are you
in a
waving them?
blowout.
Are you waving them around?
What?
You can
Okay.
look it up to the 203rd ranked male player. He drank in between sets, smoked in between sets, and played 18 holes of golf before, and admitted that he played like a 600 male ranked player. And they lost in a blowout, and they are phenoms, the best of the best. No other woman for a while even could come close to them, and they got beat by a man. Let me repeat it. In a blowout, the 203rd ranked male player, who admitted he played like a 600 ranked player,
Bye.
drank
Awesome. Just to be clear, would you want the American Olympics, the LA Olympics, would you want them to be gender neutral where the sexes compete with each other?
Absolutely. I don't see anything wrong with it. I think
Okay,
as long as
and do
it's
you also
inclusive
believe-
of
It's
trans
completely
women and
insane.
trans men and non-binary
Do you
people,
also believe
then yes,
that we should-
why not?
I don't even understand how people like this get a platform. Why? I think that they only let them on their shows to show the insanity within their mindset. That's the only reason I think that Piers Morgan and Jubilee and different people like that let people like that on their platform to display the insanity that goes on within their minds. That's why I believe that they are let on the platform. There's no other reason to. There's no other reason to. Because if you're just doing it to, actually, if you're doing it for any other reason, it's like, for what? Are you trying to publicize this? Are you trying to spread this virus? What other reason would you do it other than to display the inhumane thoughts and unrealistic thoughts that go on with inside this vessel? There's no other reason. That has to be it. But it's good because we can see. We can see exactly how crazy this is. Exactly how crazy people like this sound. Just because you put on some blush and a wig, okay, put some tissue up in here, don't make you a woman. I'm sorry, guys. This type of stuff just really irks my nerves, you know? I was raised by a woman. And to see different people just disrespect women by trying to be women and then degrade women and act like they're really a woman and without standing what women stand for, and then you really have to make it seem like they're actually women, like trans women are women. What? What world are we living in? This is not the Hunger Games. They really try to brainwash you and manipulate you with that false reality for 4 years now. It's dangerous. I can't believe they let that lie on TV screens. They were even letting it in elementary schools. That's how deep it was going. That's why Trump was like, yo, we ain't doing men and women's sports no more. Everybody's complying except Maine. Is Maine here? Yeah, see you in court. Okay, that should be an easy one. The governor of Maine is so brainwashed that she still wants men to play in women's sports. You see how a seed can come from the spiritual into reality? People start giving birth to this demonic thought. And it spreads like wildfires. And you think the world is in a spiritual place? Are you out of your mugugis? Are you out of your Makanzi? Like, oh, you're in a spiritual place, all right. And until you know that, you will lose every time. You will lose every time because you don't know how to fight against it in the spirit. May the truth come out, hallelujah. And we start really walking in reality. Thank God for a lot of these executive orders coming into play, because we have been walking in a false reality for 4 years now. May the Lord bring us back into a united place. Amen. God bless. Shalom.